Thank you for clicking on the video. Welcome back to the channel. This is another review for Love and Marriage Huntsville. Now, it said season 5, episode 1. But we just took a break. We just took, like, they normally take a small hiatus and then we come back. It's like a mid-season break and then we come back, but we're still in the, in the same season. So, and I've also read, that Carlos himself mentioned that this would be 4B. I don't know. Maybe it'll be right this Saturday. I'm not sure, but it says season 5, episode 1. And it's like, we ain't even finished season 4. We just like, what? Sometimes all of that just confuses me. It's just like, just run the episodes, please. I don't know what the end game is or what. I don't know what's going on, but the things say season 5, so we're just gonna say this is season 5. I don't know, but anyway, we're picking right back up where we left off at Mel's event. Martell brought the children. Vanessa ends up taking the kids out to go and get something to drink, get some snacks or something. And there's just this awkward silence between Melody and Martell. It's very awkward. They don't know what to say to one another because both of them can trigger each other very easily. So they're just keeping it quiet. We dapping each other up, fists bumping, all of that. It's very awkward. It's almost as if they didn't have 4 children together. But he congratulates her on making history, and excuses himself before things go left. So everything runs smoothly at her event. Nothing happens. It's an uneventful event, I should say. Kimmy and Maurice, they show up to the retreat. We're going to the retreat with Dr. Francis and his wife. And his wife, he and his wife are there waiting on them. His wife's name is Marlo. They welcome them with open arms and all of that. Then the Whit-Lows arrive next. They say that they're both optimistic to see, what's going to transpire this weekend on the retreat, on the couples retreat. Kimmy, she ends up calling Tisha because they're late, so now we're waiting on them. Tisha says that they had some type of mix-up with the nanny. Then Marceau in the background chiming in, saying he had work, he had this, he had that. And they all looking around like, and so did we. As did we. So did we. So, I mean, that's not an excuse. Get here. Get here now. Because you done invited us and set all of this up for us to be here. And then you're not even here on time. But anyway. When Marceau hears that Dr. Francis is in the room, he's like, is that Dr. Francis is there? Oh, I don't know, y'all. I don't know if I'm going to be able to make it. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get to the place. I might be just dropping Tisha off. I might have something to do. Yeah, like going to the daggone retreat. You're not getting out of it. He talking about Dr. Francis can't do nothing. Like he's already the perfect man, the perfect husband, the perfect father. What else could Dr. Francis do for him? Absolutely nothing. He's perfect. He's God's gift to any woman, let alone Tisha. So I don't know what Dr. Francis thinks he's gonna do or what he's gonna fix, because he don't need no fixing. Anyway, Dr. Francis, he don't like the fact that they not here on time. He get up and start writing on the board. He's not really. Before that, Tiffany, because they're not there, Tiffany just decides, oh, well, this was on the schedule. He's already, he already knows, but I didn't really let y'all know. I got a work call in about 5 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and go. I'm going to have to go take this call. Can't miss it. And when she just excuses herself, then Dr. Francis, has had it with them trying to take over his itinerary. And so he gets up and starts jotting on the board. He don't like that. He writes commitment on the board and all these different words. And he basically is telling them, like Tiffany got competing interests. She can't be here and there. She can't commit to being here and commit to work. Excuse me. She's going to have to, decide what's more important in her life, what the priority is. Lewis, you know, he just gets up. He says at first he's a little defensive. So it's, you know, well, you can express your concerns with her because I'm here. Nah, y'all a team. So if she ain't here, you ain't here. He gets up to go and see what she's doing. And she's, you know, busy responding to emails. She said, oh, I just got off the call. I was just responding to some emails. Girl, get back in there and sit down. Get back in there and sit down before you make Dr. Francis mad. Tisha and Marcel finally arrive. Dr. Francis and his wife are outside waiting at the door. Tisha, now guys, maybe this is just the cynical in me, but I really feel like this situation with Tisha and Marcel was a recreated situation. You know, on reality TV, they will recreate scenes in a heartbeat. You know, it's a conversation that has already been had. And sometimes they say, okay, well, let's get this again on camera. Let's get this reaction again on camera. Meanwhile, it happened last week. And so I'm of the belief that Tisha lost her friend prior to them even going on this trip, because it was the reaction just seemed forced and contrived. Like, Tisha can't act. And it just wasn't coming across like real emotion, like real hurt, real pain. I don't know. And maybe it's just me. But I wasn't buying it. I wasn't buying that it happened when y'all was driving into the place that she lost a really good friend from college. Now, I feel like friend probably passed away the week prior. And y'all recreating scenes over here because I don't buy it. You know, it's just another excuse. Oh, we were late. She was so flustered. We had to pull over. Rest in peace to her friend, though. For sure. Anyway, they get, you know, they join the group inside. Dr. Francis says he's not going to address their tardiness or anything. You know, they just lost a friend. Let's go over here to Martell and his mama. So he picks his mom up from her house. They're going to go and pick up the kids. And while they're riding, you know, he fills her in on the event, on Mel's event, and he took the children, and it was kind of awkward, blah, blah, blah. Mama Martell, as Roxanne would say over there for its rocks. She called his mama Martell. His mama, what's her name? Marlene? I think her name Marlene. Marlene. She trying to gaslight all of us and say that basically Melody's the one that switched up. You know, she's just so bitter and so angry that it's just trickling over into their relationship. When in reality, you switched up, Mama Marlene. You switched up. She enables Martell and lifts him up when she should be correcting him on a lot of occasions. And so it is not far-fetched that she's the type of mother that would choose sides. You know, even though in this particular instance, your son was dead ass wrong. Dead ass wrong. There is no reason why you shouldn't be holding him accountable, but she never does. She said that, you know, Melody's the one that switched up, and she's on social media saying this and saying that. And she just doesn't understand. Ma'am, you know exactly what you was saying. We ran the footage. Mama over there talking about Melody's lazy, you know, in more words than not. Yeah, you switched up on her, Marlene. But anyway, they go and they pick up the kids. Even though his mother says that, you know, she'll always love Melody. Melody is the mother to her grandchildren, so she always got love for her. But Melody need to let that bitterness and hurt go. And she will on her own time. That was her whole husband who she created a whole family with. And he just dismantled the entire family, going off and gallivanting and having sex with this one and that one, making babies more than once. And so, yes, she bitter. Rightly so, Mama Marlene. Anyway, back at the retreat. Dr. Francis is still writing on He's still writing on the board. He be writing all over that board, and it's just a bunch of stuff up there. Can we get bullet points? Can we get some type of organization with the notes on the board? But anyway, he jotting on the board again. And then he just gonna start in on Tiffany and Lewis. Lewis, you've been protecting Tiffany this whole time, you know, at the expense of your own growth. And Tiffany says that she was waiting on Tisha and Marceau to arrive. You know, she didn't think that the exercises or the retreat had started. She felt like we wasn't gonna start activities and exercises and stuff like that. We wasn't gonna start the therapy of it all until Tisha and Marceau got there. And Dr. Francis tells her that she's not here for everybody. You are here for you. He reprimanded them the entire night. She says that work is a priority for her. It's a priority. Work is a priority. You can't eat work. You can't sleep work. You can't dress work. You can't do nothing with the work. Your priorities are not in order. You need to get your priorities in order. She says that she and Lewis, you know, they're okay with the situation. They already know about the schedule. And he like, schedule. Schedule. You gonna schedule your way out your marriage. I was like, well, damn. I mean, he's hitting it on the nail. He really is, because Tiffany is the one that's been complaining about Lewis's complaining about her not being around, not having time for him and his peen. And so, yeah, you might want to stop all the scheduling. Start scheduling in some peen. Schedule the peen as well, Tiffany girl, because that's what Dr. Francis is saying. You cannot give your all in both of those places. You just cannot. Even though y'all be trying to say, we women can have it all now. No, the fuck you can. You cannot. I'm sorry. You cannot. On both sides of the coin. You the working woman, the working wife and mother, you're going to miss out on those kids and that spouse. Sorry. You want to go to work. The stay-at-home mom. You may miss out on your husband too a little bit, especially if you got young kids. You are, you know, nurturing them. So, yeah, your spouse, you know, gets put to the back burner sometimes. And you forfeit a social life sometimes. You know, you forfeit that adult interaction because you with home with babies. Like, you cannot have it all. So I really want us to stop trying to strive for having it all. Listen, just get what you get. Get what God gives. Okay? Take what he gives you. And be happy. And be happy. Because like Dr. Francis said, you're going to schedule your way out of your out of your marriage. Anyway, Tiffany, you know, she's continually saying that she and Lewis are content with the way things are. And Dr. Francis is like, well, I guess you just content with, you know, not changing. So, I mean, if you okay with that, then cool. Tiffany starts to challenge him a little. Like she continuously challenges everything he says. Everything he says, any piece of advice, she's rolling her eyes, and it's almost like, I know better. Like, I don't have no issues. Why are you talking to me? She ain't like that. Neither one of them liked being in the hot seat that they like putting other people in. Kimmy chimes in, and she calls bullshit because Kimmy is like, we're not gonna pretend like you didn't talk to me about your issues. You know, like you and I had a conversation about you not having time for your spouse. And so, yeah, quality time is a problem. Don't pretend like it's not. Tiffany says she gives 100% at home and at work. And like I said, you cannot give your all in both places. You cannot. It's absolutely impossible. It's absolutely impossible. Tiffany and Lewis, they don't want to be accountable. They start, you know, they change the tune, and, you know, now it's time for a game because they're really not going to get anywhere with Tiffany and Lewis. They don't think they have issues. Anyway, they're gonna play a game. They have Marlo, his wife, brings out this rope, and they're gonna tie each of their legs together. And they're going to walk around for 15 minutes. And they're like, 15 minutes? Yep, 15 minutes. Get on out there. They go on outside and, you know, and do their walk. Marcel and Tisha start running and jogging because they've been married 16 years. So they got longevity in this, and so they know more. They're more in sync than anybody else. So that's why they did so well. Maurice and Kimmy, on the other hand, they over there struggling because, excuse me, both of them are trying to lead. And it was, I'm sure it was eye-opening. The whole exercise was eye-opening, I'm sure, for all of them. But for Kimmy, it kind of opened her eyes a little bit that she don't be really letting him lead, and he don't really be letting her lead, and they really got to work on their communication. What's it called? Tiffany and Lewis, she just want him to pick her up. You know, again, she runs the show. And so that was also very obvious to me and Dr. Francis. Dr. Francis is like, I'm picking up on y'all's dynamics. You want her to pick you up. I mean, yeah, she want her to pick you up. And did I say that right? She wants you, yeah, to pick her up. I said you, but I meant to say her. Child, them pronouns will get you. They'll get you. But yeah, he noticed their dynamics. Tiffany be running things over there, and he's just gonna do whatever she wants. He goes along to get along, I guess. Back over there in Huntsville, Melody, she drops by Stormy's house. Stormy got a beautiful spread. She got horses out there. It's just a Southern girl's dream. There's a farmhouse out here. I've had my eyes on it for years, and at some point, I want to say it was last year, it was on the market. It's sold now, them people in that house. But I'm like, y'all want to sell it again? It's so beautiful. It's ranch style. And it's just spread out all this land. The house itself is beautiful. It looks like, and the curbside appeal is what gets me every time. It's like you're driving around, you know, driving around to up to the to the double driveway situation. And it looks like you could house like events, or, you know, like it really could be like an event space or something like that. But I love that home, and every time I drive past, I just think to myself, I really want this home. I really want this farmhouse. I really want it. Really want the farmhouse. There's a little barn down in the back. Take me to the country, okay? Anyway, I'm acting like I'm not a city girl. I'm a city girl. That she drops by Stormy's house, and Stormy's in her zen room. We didn't even know that Stormy was this kind of girl, but she's zenned out this season. And so she in her room with all her plants and her sound bowls. She's you know, playing with the sound bowls. Melody gets there, and Melody's asking her about the different, which one, you know, of the bowls, like which is it, you know, as it pertains to the chakra. And Stormy over there reading directions. I think this one is the head, and then this one is, I said, she ain't real. She's supposed to know. I thought you be in here every day, girl. Why you don't know which one is which? You got to look at the directions. You got to look over at your paper. Anyway, she tells Stormy about, you know, Martell bringing the kids by and all of that. Stormy asks about her relationship with Martell's mom. And again, you know, she's like, ain't no love lost or nothing like that. But she kind of switched up on me. She kind of took her son's side. I mean, I guess and she understands that's her son. And it's also not going to be the same between the two of them. Melody also didn't like that, you know, like her comments on camera about Melody being lazy and being the one, and Martell being the one who did the majority of the housework, cooking, the cleaning, all of that. And Melody's like, listen, all this I got going on, the fact that I'm booked and busy says ain't no lazy bone in my body. So there's that. But yeah, she says their relationship will never be the same. You know, that's his mama. Understandable. Back at the retreat, they getting dressed for dinner. Marceau tells Tisha, you know, he ain't feeling the fact that he got ambushed with a whole counseling weekend, but he gonna be a good sport about it, I guess. Kimmy and Maurice, they're over there talking about the exercise. Kimmy is just like, listen, my eyes are open. Like, I feel like we don't communicate like we should. You know, that the rope exercise spoke volumes to her. Okay, we all go out to dinner and they all sit down. Dr. Francis first wants them to share. And this is supposed to just be dinner, you know. And so I didn't understand why Dr. Francis had to start psychoanalyzing the people. But I guess, I mean, I guess being a therapist, you're always on. You're always on. My friend, I wouldn't say she's always on, like in therapist mode, but she kind of is. It's kind of like she can see through any of the bullshit I might have tried to throw her way. Like, why you ain't sought out a therapist? You found a therapist yet? I can give all the excuses I want to, and I don't think they fly with her. I don't think they fly with her because she's a therapist, and she's probably like, nah, no, bitch, you need to do some self-work. And don't be trying to come over here for it. Dr. Francis can't turn off, I'm a therapist. He can't turn it off. So they sitting at dinner, and he gonna get them. You know, he gonna get them. He asked them to share, you know, how they've enjoyed the experience, what they've gotten out of it. Marceau steps up to the plate first. You know, he's going to be super deep and philosophical because he's just so smart and so self-aware. He just says all the right things. He really gets on my nerves. Just please let somebody else talk sometime. Let somebody else say something. And I was so surprised that Maurice wasn't as vocal as he normally is. Maurice is another one who always think he know, you know. But anyway, they're talking about marriages and all of that. And Tisha says that, you know, they're getting to the point where they're starting to feel like empty nesters. Not really an empty nester, but like their children are way more independent than they were before. And now they can really, you know, focus on their marriage. And then Tiffany's like, speaking of babies, I want a baby. And of course, Dr. Francis is like, you want a baby? But you just was leaving the therapy session to go take a call. How you going? What you mean a baby? Louis, do you want a baby? You know, and Louis says that, I mean, we had the conversation, but I ain't really know if she was serious. Nah, this is all Tiffany talking about she want a baby. Of course, now we're locked in on Tiffany and Louis again, you know, and their marriage and what they have going on. Tiffany says that, you know, she has the older kids and wanting the baby. And Dr. Francis says that it's all of this is because of her abandonment issues and her issues with being neglected and abandoned, you know, as a newborn and going into the foster care system and all of that. She wants this baby because she don't want to be alone again. The baby is going to always be there. And I'm like, well, the baby ain't always going to be a baby. Them kids grow up and leave your ass too, which is why the spouse is who comes before your children. Yeah, I said it. Your spouse comes before the children. Oh my God, I can't believe she said something like that. She put a man before her kids. I sure did. Sure did. It's me and him against them any day. It's me and him against the world. What the fuck you mean? This is who I chose to spend the rest of my life with. That's what that means. The kids grow up and leave the home. They grow up and leave and make their own families. And then my son got his own wife to cleave to. My daughter got her own, listen, let me say spouse. My kids got their own spouse. Because, I mean, you got to be politically correct all the time. But my kids got their own spouse that they cleave to. And so that leaves me and my spouse. That leaves me and my husband. So yes, you put your husband comes first. God, spouse, churn. Everybody else. That's in that order. Anyway, I really went off on a tangent. Tiffany, you know, he's not really reading her, but you know, like he's really really giving her got the mirror up close, you know, and she's starting to cry, you know, getting a little emotional about it, because it's hitting home. Marceau chimes in, and it's obvious that both Tiffany and Louis are starting to get a little bit uncomfortable with the line of questioning and all of that. It's starting to look like let's all gang up on Louis and Tiffany, but it is what it is. Marceau chimes in, and you know, he want to know, Okay, well, if y'all bring a baby into the fold, like, what about Lewis? Is Lewis gonna get, does he get more, does he get less? And everybody like, more what? More, is he gonna get some? You already ain't giving him none. Is he gonna get some after the baby come? Like, what's that gonna be like? You know, and both of them start to try to defend themselves. Lewis is always, he's another one with the philosophical responses and deflections instead of just being direct. And Dr. Francis picks up on that as well. He's like, you read a lot of philosophy books, don't you? It shows. All it is. all that you be giving, and you ain't really giving nothing. Yeah, I get it. I get that you read. We understand that you read. He talking about he the teacher. He the teacher now. You know, the student can become the teacher. It's like, what the fuck? What are you talking about? And then Tiffany's like, teacher? Who are you teaching? Teaching you. You teaching me? And then they get in confessional and she belittle him some more. Emasculate him some more. You teaching me? Teaching me to do what? Oh, I mean, you do talk a lot. You say a lot. I don't know about teaching. I said, well, damn, girl. That's your husband, girl. You can't really, don't do that to him in front of the capacity. Anyway. I guess Dr. Francis said, I got your number. He done pulled his card. Kimmy, she's sitting by and she just, again, she cannot sit by and let these people just play a game on us. And so once again, she's like, I just don't understand why we're doing this. You know, like this is, y'all are playing games. Like, so everybody else has to sit and listen to what y'all, you know, the advice that y'all like to give all the time and your expertise in all of this, but you are not receiving what he's trying to say. Like Dr. Francis, the doctor, is trying to get y'all to see something and you're not receptive at all. Like at all. Y'all are not, they ain't good with the criticism and it shows. Dr. Francis says that, you know, that everything is not right over there on the home front. Y'all are not telling us everything. You're not being fully transparent, which is what Kimmy has been saying from the beginning. Lewis wants to know specifically, Lewis and Tiffany, what is it? What are you talking about? Specifically, what do you mean by, you know, like, we're playing a game? Like, so do you think that our marriage is a joke? Do you think that our marriage is a fake? That's what he said. Or a front. Possibly. It's looking like it. It's looking like it. It's looking like it. And y'all gonna have to do something to show us something different. But that's where we end out. I'm sure we're gonna pick right back up at the dinner table this Saturday. Stormy. Why Stormy ain't going on a trip? Stormy and her husband. I guess because Stormy and her husband are supposed to be extensions of, you know, Melody. That's Melody's friend. But they a couple too, you know. We doing a couple thing. They a couple. I hope to see more filming with all the girls or all the guys. And, you know, like I hope that we get back to the comeback group. I hope we get back to the comeback group unit. Even though Martell and Melody are divorced, all this separate filming and bouncing over here, back over here, back over there, I don't want to do that. Y'all all need to be around in the same place now. Got me bouncing back and forth with y'all different conversations. Anyway, let me go. I got to review Housewives. Be sure to rate, comment, and subscribe to the channel. It's Call Me Busby. I'll chat with you later. Peace and light.